Okay. Welcome everyone to the Pantheon of M. I am Ray.
And I'm Evie.
And Evie, what are we reviewing today?
Black Panther, the movie.
That's right. Starring, it's produced and directed by Ryan Coogler.
Yeah.
It is the 18th film from the MCU,
Mm.
starring the late Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
You know, well, there's also an all-star cast, just like Diana, Winston Duke, Letitia Wright, Lupita Nyong'o. Like, there's a really big cast who's in this movie.
Sure.
The boys from they call them the token white boys from of Lord of the Rings, because you have Ulysses Claw, played by, who I'm talking about, right. So I can't, my mind's going blank, but like, you have a really big cast. So so give us the quick overview of this movie, Evie.
This movie, it's about a new king from Wakanda,
right,
whose brother thinks that he's being ripped off by army, some guy who actually thinks that he's running arms from here and there, or like stealing arms, like, knives, and he actually, I guess, takes not money but guns back and forth.
Right.
Yeah. So he wants to, and his brother, Monkiller, or what's his name? The played by Michael B. Jordan.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's playing Michael B. Jordan. T'Challa from I guess Wakanda wants to investigate what, and the king from Wakanda have to figure out what's going on. And that's all I have to say.
Yeah, and this is what you call a very, very okay. Here's what I say about this movie. I'm gonna play devil's advocate in the sense that I will say this is not much of a superhero type film. This is more about the people of Wakanda than it is about the actions of heroes.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's not a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, it's about the people, and where you have the character of Ross, who's like probably the only Agent Ross who by himself alone, it doesn't make much sense why he's there, but unless you watch Civil War, because Civil War explains his character. And I like the fact that they don't use the trope of having him, because he's like one of the few Caucasians who were in this, and so he's not the vessel for us to go by. You know how some movies will have a person who's new to the world, and we learn through his eyes. They don't do that. He's not the one who's steering us through this world. The world is it's unraveling and revealing itself onto us as the story progresses, and I like they do that. Also, I like the fact that none of the actors who are whether it's the general, the villains, the heroes, the soldiers, they are all front and center. They're there to support the movie, but they're not like bouncing off. They're bouncing off him, but like they are contributing to the story. They actually have a strong role.
Yeah.
So they have equal amount of importance in every individual character, whether it's Shuri, Oyoya, what's in Duke's character, the king of the white gorilla, the Baku. They all have a significant role, and they contribute leading the story. So none of them are like supporting characters. They actually tell the story, so, which is unusual, because usually you have a character that's kind of like subservient to Black Panther. But I think Black Panther, actually everyone bounces off him, and they perpetuate the story further. So it's just interesting how they do that. As a devil's advocate, the only thing I will say that I found disappointing about this movie is the climax. It's because of the special effects, the rendering. I thought when I saw this in theaters, I thought maybe it was the screen I was watching at, but it's not. It's just it's very green screen, and I think that's the only thing. That's the only thing about the movie that if I have a negative towards it's that. But the resolution is phenomenal. Like where it ends, how it like where it goes after the big climax, it's more rewarding than the actual fight. You know, because you were looking for the fight between Killmonger and Black Panther, but how it ends, I think that trumps that. Above all else, it's very Shakespearean. It's bittersweet. I thought that was really well done. I think Killmonger is probably one of the most fleshed out creatively like characters like villains you can think of, whereas you sympathize with the character, but you just disagree with the methods.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
I agree with that.
But he's a victim. I mean, he's a victim of his circumstances, and which is kind of sad. But like how he goes about it is it's just too radicalized for me to agree with.
Okay.
What are your thoughts?
I thought it was really well done. Special effects were good, but yeah, it's about telling a story among all of these people, and one is being watched, whereas the other ones just want to figure out what's going on and what to do. So it's not all about shooting guns or anything. It's just one guy who is a new king, trying to figure out like what's going on and putting what's wrong right. Yeah, so that's what I think. But really well done.
What do you think the message is? Because this is more of a cultural. This is cultural than it is like than a superhero. I mean, there's a lot of themes in this, but like what do you take away from this? Like in terms of just of its message that it gives to the public when you walk away from this movie.
I don't know. Better to, I guess. I don't know. Everybody matters, and it's not right to steal because it's and I guess uh, killing people and stealing isn't right, and
Killing is bad.
Exactly, and killing is bad. That's what I thought anyway, and that's all I got to say about that.
Okay, I just thought I think from stereotypes I think you were talking about earlier. I think it puts the cultural. It's culturally relevant in terms of like it actually puts the blacks, or doesn't matter, it's just not necessarily blacks, but anyone of minority that it's like we can do better. We're better than what people label us as. It's a utopian society, and it can be achievable to have that kind of level of excellence in terms of how we perceive ourselves and how we should be. It just elevates the game, and I think everyone, it doesn't matter what culture you're from. We are like, especially in time of war, like you got Israel and Palestine. I mean, like the human condition, we can rise above it, and I think it's just the ideology of Black Panther is universal.
True. Yeah.
And I think that's such a positive message for everybody. It doesn't matter your race, your age, your sex, or your gender, or whatever it is, your orientation. I think this is such a positive, influential film. So I think the message is just of positive. I think the message of positivity is just such a strong message it gives, and just in general, and how and it's a reflection of the people who watch it can see into this.
Awesome. Cool.
So, okay. So we'll end off on a happy note.
Yes.
So Evie, how can they reach us?
Email, blog, our website
at www.pantheonofm.com.
Yes.
And with that, I am Ray.
And I'm Evie.
We'll talk to you next week.